Every day, more and more people are making movies. Filmmaking has become the new GarageBand. I'm Johnny DiLoretto, and this is Framelines, the series that aims the lens on those who are out there making movies. Some are backyard Kubricks, making movies for fun, and others are aspiring Spielbergs, professionals working hard to make it in the industry.
Framelines is brought to you in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council.
Peter John Ross explains a little bit about making movies in this next clip.
Organization and production is incredibly important. Because filmmaking is a collaborative art, everybody has to communicate with each other. There are three phases to making any movie. Pre-production, which is the writing and preparation for the shoot, creating shot lists and storyboards. Production, which is the shoot. And post-production, where it all comes together in editing and everything involved in that. From the script, you can create the shot list. This is just writing down on paper what angles you want to get. You can do storyboards too. For each scene, you'll want to write out the shot name, then what type of shot you want to get. When you get to production, you can use that shot list and/or your storyboards, and those will be used on the slate marker. After the shoot, when it comes to editing, the assistant editor will name the computer files the same as to what was on the slate. When you record sound separate from picture, it's important to say the slate information out loud.
Ford Baker, take 3, marker.
So that you can name the files consistently and synchronize everything more easily. So if the editor or producer or director want to correlate anything from their script to match the shoot in editing, then everything can be found easily. But that leads into another thing about kind of trends in cinematography. You know, how do you feel about kind of the fads of cinematography, like shooting styles? The whole thing with shallow depth of field, once DSLRs came out with the large sensors and suddenly you could have shallow depth of field with video that previously was only ever available on film, that became a huge trend. What are the current trends, and does it matter?
They change every 5 seconds, so it's hard to keep up with them.
The trends matter. I mean, what you're seeing, you know, for years, manufacturers of primes, you know, German glass, that's the standard. Big price, big money. You're seeing a lot of influx of Japanese glass now, and even Chinese glass into what they call fast lenses. I mean, I like to shoot with a fast lens. I don't want to mess around with f4s or 5.6 or, you know, even 2.8's kind of slow for me. But it's showing up everywhere at low price points. But glass, to me, is the camera isn't as important as the piece of glass that is going on it.
Lenses are the most underappreciated part of a camera.
Yeah, it's just a box. The camera's just a box that captures the image, but the glass is what gives the sharpness or the look. And if you've got a crappy piece of glass, and it's like, well, I can't even tell if it's in focus. Any of it's in focus. Yeah. But if you've got a really good piece of glass, you can trust it.
Yeah. I mean, glass even has an effect on compressing the colors in some ways and having an effect on the contrast.
Yeah, contrast, that would be the key right there, because, you know, with shooting RAW or S-Log, color might not be as critical, but that contrast
makes all the difference.
Yes.
So again, for kind of cinematography trends right now, how do you feel about trends? Do you pay attention to them, not pay attention to them? Do you follow the trends of like what's on TV and movies today, what's important?
Well, I mean, I honestly, yeah, I steal ideas from here and there because I like certain things. So, you know, one of the projects I'm most proud of is called IOU. We decided we want to steal a couple trends from David Fincher, and we didn't do a David Fincher style movie, but a lot of the cinematography techniques that he exhibits and he's known for, well, we kind of stole those and inserted into a movie that he would never have anything to do with. So there's all sorts of ideas out there right now. You know, there's a lot of independent film looks underproduced a lot of times because, you know, they're using DSLRs and they're not using the big lights that Hollywood is still using. So independent film has its own style and look as well, and that's continuing, and I think we're seeing
evolving as it goes.
Absolutely.
What is the purpose of any movie? When I say movie, I mean any moving picture, as in news, reality show, comedies, dramas, science fiction, commercials, or anything. Is it to entertain? To inform? To sell something? None of those really capture the entirety of what motion pictures do. At its most basic, movies manipulate the viewer. In a slightly less cynical way of saying that, you want people to think or feel something they weren't before watching your movie. In the case of a comedy, you're trying to make someone laugh. With a drama, you want to make them cry. In news, you want to get people information. Or in the case of MSNBC or Fox News, you want to get your base riled up. TV commercials try to make people want to buy a product. Remember, the audience is a non-active participant. That's not an oxymoron either. You are emulating the human experience in a kind of hyper-reality. You are manipulating the viewer intentionally. Everything from camera work, to performance, to set design, to music, editing. These are all weapons in your arsenal to make the audience go where you want and feel how you intend. So learn what has worked in the past, what works now, maybe try to play with things that might work in the future, but go and make a movie.
Actually, Shane Howard called me up and said, hey, you want to do a project with us? And I didn't even know it was a contest or it was even for MOFA. And I was just automatically, you know, Shane's a great guy, so I was just automatically all for it. And then the next night when we met at his house, he explained what it was and who was throwing it and what the contest was about. And I thought, oh, okay, cool, yeah, let's do this.
It was really to support MOFA. MOFA's a really cool organization in our community. I think they deserve our support. Also, I really like timed contests like this. I love the 48. 72 sounded really cool. Gives us a little bit extra play time. Found out it was horror. I loved making horror movies. And I just thought it was neat because it was a completely organic thing. It was a Columbus thing. We still own the film after we're done. As soon as I heard about it, MOFA had my total buy-in on it.
I've always liked horror movies. That's my genre. Anyway, the first film I ever produced, directed, and written was a horror film, and it's just what I know. It's, you know, and you can make it corny and get away with it, so it's pretty cool.
I actually wasn't planning on being involved, but one of my very best friends, Alyssa Crane, was our executive producer and texted me on Thursday night and said, what are you doing this weekend? And I said, nothing. And she said, you want to make a movie? And I said, hell yeah.
Shane asked me if I was interested in being on 3 Days of Terror, and I didn't have anything else going on this weekend, so I said, sure, man, I'd love to be on your team. So that's how we got there.
The shoot, we were delayed both days by either technical problems or we had pieces of equipment that weren't to set yet. We had a 2-day shoot. We were delayed by about an hour and a half each day. So that was a huge opportunity, I think the word is, for us. But the shoots were great. Everybody works as a team. No on-set fighting or anything like that. I mean, it really is the pack of dogs that I designed my team to be. I mean, everybody works as one unit. It's really cool.
I just kind of did what I do. I'm a very organized, administrative kind of person, and I kind of put my 2 cents in, even though it's not necessarily requested or asked for. And I just kind of look for opportunities or things that need to be done and just do them.
Sometimes you get communications and challenges with, you know, being able to get all the right people at the right time to be there. But, you know, for the most part, everybody was great to work with. Our site had an interesting challenge because it was very rainy on a Friday night, and we had rivers of water running through this old abandoned warehouse that and factory space that we set up shop in for our basically our set.
I got the set located. A good friend of mine, Nate Lewis, that I went to school with in Marysville, Ohio. His father owns a zinc die casting factory in Marysville. It's Ray Lewis and Sons Zinc Die Casting Factory. It's kind of run down. It's abandoned. The front part of it's open. I believe they're doing like a mechanic shop in there. But it's like 9 to 12 different rooms, just creepy looking, and it's the prime location. And you know, me and Nate being good friends from high school, it's usually never an issue for me to get that location, so our location was like that.
Very strange colored water dripping from the ceiling in this room that we called our green room, which was more kind of like this dingy brown. The shop floor adjoining this space ended up having standing water where there was still electrical equipment plugged in. So yeah, a little nerve-wracking at times.
It's like one day people just didn't come to work anymore, and there's still like paperwork on tables and offices and stuff. It's like people just disappeared out of there. So the atmosphere was great for shooting a horror movie. We got found footage. Found footage is one of my favorite genres. I'm one of those few people that loved Blair Witch from the very beginning and still love it to this day. So when we had the opportunity to pick found footage, I totally jumped on it.
Seeing the whole thing happen, I mean, it's hard to put into words, but the whole thing was just amazing. I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep, but I feel like I've had a blast. I've had the time of my life this weekend. And we actually, after we wrapped our movie, we were able to go and help out another crew that needed some help. So I think the spirit of the community and everything was really great, how everyone's encouraging each other, and you know, even though it's a competition, everyone's like, hey, good luck, you need a hand, let me know.
The way my team does our time competitions is we have some people back at home base, and we send a detachment to the kickoff. And the people at the kickoff text back all of the required elements, the genre and subgenre in this case. So both of those detachments of team members start brainstorming and coming up with ideas. So by the time we reconvene at home base, there's 2 or 3 different ideas out there. This time was unique in that all of the ideas that everyone came up with involved a ghost hunters type of show. And that's what we went with. We're like, man, if we're all coming up with that idea, we're all immediately on board. We don't have to sell it to each other. It just felt like the right thing to do. And the idea took off, and we had our first draft done by 11 p.m. the night of kickoff. Once we have an idea down, everybody is still there at home base, and we start to flesh out the story. The story credit goes to the pariah dogs in all my credits, just because everybody is collaborating. And then everybody kind of leaves, all but maybe 2 or 3 people that sit at a table and write together.
As an actor, the script was very tight and very fun to work with. We deliberately left it so we could do a little bit of improvisation. So we would do a take that was very close to what the script called for, and then we'd mix it up a little bit, try to put a little more of a personal spin on it.
Well, preparation and organization is really key and huge, but when it comes to these type of contests, you really can't prep because you don't know what the specs are until the night of. Just once you get the specs, you just get right to work. You don't give up. Once the contest starts, that's when you really have to prep for everything and just make sure you have enough people to do each job so it gets done, nice and smooth. And just have fun and just bring your creativity out. Like, I try not to listen to the whole, it's got to be done this way, or it's going to be done the way we want to do it because it's our art. So just have fun and, just enjoy yourself and make a movie.
Keep your spirits up. Things get frustrating, especially, trying to do a movie in 72 hours. Even though it's a short film, things get run long. It's 3 days of no sleep, constantly go, go, go.
Make sure everybody understands that you're all working as friends. You're not working against each other. You're not necessarily working against other teams. You're working to get your film done in a 72-hour time period.
Most television shows start off with a pilot episode, an episode that gets tested, and if it tests well, then the network can decide if it wants to go ahead and create a show that will hopefully be successful. When a TV show does get very successful, sometimes a network will want to spin off some of the minor characters under their own series, or just introduce new characters in order to spin them off under their own show. When an established TV series does an episode with the obvious purpose of setting up the launch of another show, a new show, with these minor characters or newer characters, this is called a backdoor pilot. A famous backdoor pilot is the episode of Happy Days, which introduced Mork from Ork. Robin Williams' alien character, Mork, was so far removed from the Happy Days milieu of Milwaukee circa the 1950s into the 60s, yet his appearance was so popular with the viewers, the network skipped the entire notion of doing a pilot episode and went straight to series with Mork and Mindy, which took place in Boulder, Colorado during the 70s and 80s. Sometimes, the backdoor pilot strategy can demonstrate a lack of interest in an idea too. Famously, in the original Star Trek episode Assignment Earth, Gene Roddenberry tried to do this to create a brand new series about a human raised by aliens. It was not popular and it never became its own pilot or series. The final several episodes of David E. Kelley's TV series The Practice acted as sort of a backdoor pilot for another TV series of his, Boston Legal. And the NCIS shows typically would do a backdoor pilot for their various spin-offs by visiting a new city and introducing new characters. Backdoor pilots are a clever way of introducing a new series without going through the usual pilot process. I'm Jocelyn, and thanks for watching.
Okay, further on, let's talk a little bit about, what are things you've either done or seen that is kind of like, think of it more like this way. What would you say, if looking back, if you could have been an advisor now to yourself as when you're first directing, what would you tell yourself? What is it that maybe you did that was the most kind of, the thing you thought was kind of the worst offense you might have done that you would want to see undone if you could do that?
Wore too many hats.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was behind the camera, in front of the camera, and my co-stars had to tell me sometimes, okay, take that behind the camera same hat off, get in front of the camera, and get that person on, get in character, those type of things. So the second time around, it was a lot easier. I slashed down my role some, but I enjoyed doing both really. But I think it hurt the project just a little bit if you're not experienced, because I wasn't experienced at doing it. I mean, I was new at everything except for the acting part.
So the big thing for you was really being an actor in the scene. That really ripped you. It was tearing your concentration apart, you think?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I'm worrying about, okay, I hope they got this right. Okay, are they doing this? All right, stop. Did y'all have that? Okay, those type of things. How the shot look. And so just too many hats in the beginning.
I just feel like a lot of times people try to bite off more than they can chew, and then you just get yourself in trouble.
Like what? What's an example of that?
Or just like even the first 48 hour that we did, we were like, oh, we're gonna do this and this and this and this, and it was like 8 o'clock Saturday night, and we're like, our actors had to go. it was just that we ended up pulling it together, but it was definitely a learning experience.
What percentage of what you intended did you actually get done then?
Probably like 45%.
So
just keep it short and sweet, I think, and concentrate on the script. That's all. Starts with the script. Keep it short and sweet. Know what you can do, and concentrate on doing that well, as opposed to this grand idea that you have.
I'm a big proponent for, but I don't disrespect people that go straight for features. Mm-hmm. But I'm a big believer in you do shorts and kind of graduate to features.
I probably would have done that had I known better.
Well, for me, it's more of you learn to write a sentence before you write a novel. In a lot of ways, so you learn how to write a sentence structure before you really try to tackle a novel. But at the same time, there are people that are like, what good is a short? There's people that feel that way, and I don't disrespect it. Even if I disagree with it, I don't disrespect that opinion.
Yeah, but I think my thing was, I didn't write a short story first. I would have wrote a novel. Mm-hmm. I didn't write a short movie or a short. I wrote a feature. And so because I was looking to try to maybe option it somehow or another, and it never got to that point. Hey, shoot it yourself. So I got some people, like I said before, Craig Short, John Whitty, some other people, and they helped me get started.
But do you regret doing a feature before you did a short?
I think I spent a lot of money on and not having the quality that I wanted. So in that regard, yes. But overall, I still don't have any regrets, because I still love it. I love what the finished product, but I think quality-wise, it suffered a lot of ways.
Well, what did you find in terms of editing? What did you really learn more as you went between editing from where you started to where you are now?
When you think it's there, keep cutting. I just feel like it can always be cut. You're so afraid, especially if you're editing it yourself. this is my baby, I don't want to cut it down, you're so attached to the scenes, but no, you just gotta cut the fat.
Yeah, I think I learned on the job training again, as with everything in the first movie. So as I watched the editor edit, I just learned everything I could. And so when I shot the second one, I shot with the edit in mind. Mm-hmm. And so that helped me out a lot. So I went in and edited primarily most of it myself the second time. So I was confident that time.
So in the first one, when you worked with an editor, did you find that they maybe wanted to cut lines or something that you really wanted to keep? Did you ever have those kind of conversations?
Yeah, we almost went to blows a couple times.
Well, that's actually good that you almost did, because the best thing about that is you have a collaborator that's passionate about their opinions too.
Right. And I had to respect that.
And that's the thing about it, is that fight, whether it came to blows or not, could determine making the best movie possible.
It's just an interesting, you bringing up it being collaborative. It is, and yet mostly I think one person owns the vision.
Would you call it the director or the producer?
Right. Good question. I try to be both. That way
Whoever
I solve
had
that problem.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to have the person, right? I don't know if there's a right place to put it, but it could be the editor, but it has to be somebody, I think.
Most people are writer-producers that think that they're writer-directors, because a lot of the things that people do in making indie films today, when you say indie film, I'm talking about like these DSLR or camcorder shoots, most people are writer-producers that think they're writer-directors. Because director and a film by credit is the sexy title, that's what everybody wants, but they don't understand is what they're actually doing is producing and not directing. Because, the art form of directing, and by the way, talking about myself more than anybody else, because that's what I was for the first 7 or 8 years of my filmmaking career. I was a writer-producer that thought he was a writer-director. So as angry as I may sound about other people, I'm really talking about myself, quite genuinely. And it's like, I'm still very much learning what the art form of directing is. What is directing to you?
I think it's different with everybody, because for me personally, when we're on set, I'm just like totally relaxed, and I let the actors kind of do their thing. I'm not like overly do it this way. I just kind of like trust the actors and let them do their thing. That's how I am.
But again, it's more of what is the definition of directing to you? Like, what does that entail? What are your responsibilities as a director?
Getting the best out of your talent.
It's one of the things where you're just trying to get, I don't know, I'm like, man, I'm all about the talent, because I heard a guy say sometimes, man, you let the actors do what they do. I just direct the shots and I direct everything else. I don't know.
But is that your view too? That like you're more interested in
I'm more the actors. I'm more actors. I like to lead the camera to the cameraman. We discuss what I see. Then if he can do it, get the shot I want, then that's on him. But I'm more with the actors.
Where do you land on that?
I've had some conversations with people who say they're really aggravated by line reads. Don't give me a line read. I'm talent. I know how to do it. And I appreciate that. I wonder about the structure of a short versus a feature, and the assembly of the story, and its sequencing, and how much, I guess you'd call it, control is required to get to the payoff in 4 minutes versus, what I want to do more of is letting the actors act. I'm curious. I need to learn more about the structure. But sorry, your question was definition of director. I think directors' responsibilities are to own the vision for the product, own the heart of the vision of the product. Be a great team leader who gets people aligned with the vision, and I think is smart what Vic said about get the best out of your talent. That could look different.
Talent covers in front of the camera and behind the camera. Yeah. Well, on your features, what was like your biggest day with the most people, and how many people did you have to wrangle?
Crew, probably about 8.
Really? That's the largest your crew got?
Yeah, and the smallest was maybe 3.
So you always had your camera and your sound covered, right?
Oh yeah, tried to.
What's the average size of your crew then?
It's, same thing. Ranges from 2 or 3 or 4 people to, big day, 15.
this wraps up kind of the roundtable for first-time filmmaker advice. I want to thank everybody for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
This is a Framelines interactive project. Visit our website at framelines.tv and see the links. All you need is software on your phone, your tablet, or computer that let you edit video. All the clips are on our Vimeo page at vimeo.com/framelines. Once there, you can click on each segment, then click download. From here, you can import the footage into your editing software. Now you can start to edit. Be sure to use the credits because all the people who worked on these clips deserve to be recognized. And feel free and upload your edits online with free sites like YouTube or Vimeo or Facebook. Use the hashtag FramelinesTV so we can see your edit. If you'd like more information on the filmmakers or to purchase a DVD of tonight's program, please visit www.framelines.tv and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. That's a wrap. We'll catch you next time on Framelines.